Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 here in Gelderland. We are going to get all of that in here. Right, excellent. So we've done one field right there. I do now need to get the trailer over here so that we can unload it. So I need to go and find that lorry that we were using. It's getting dark. I need to get this other harvester. What? If I leave it another month, we're not going to be able to do the harvest, are we? Where are we? We're here. No, I'm not going to be able to. Sunflowers is the other bit that we still got to do, and I have to do that today. Right, we have no choice. That's got to be done. So this combine has got to be moved. This one, I need to get this one moved. 1.2 million litres of sugar beet in here at the moment. You know what? Let's go back. We'll go down to 0.5 on our time scale. We're running out of time here. This is no good. This is not how it's supposed to work out. It's all right. It's all right. We will still be able to do it. We've still got time. So I've got most of the sugar beet done. So I'm just going to get this trailer here down to the sugar beet harvester. And that bit then we can go and deal with. We've got straw that we need to pick up there with our other tractor. I was there. All right, I was right in front of you. You hit my back wheels. What is wrong with you? Completely 100% he was at fault that time. There was no possible way that was my fault. Completely on him. I am going to come up with a way to capture all of the AI drivers on the map here, all of the cars, and do stuff to them. I don't know what yet. FS13 was glorious, right? It was absolutely wonderful. They changed the AI drivers after that. But in FS13, they weren't rock solid on the road. Like, if you did that in FS13, you'd knock them back. They would... Their cars would basically fly back. They'd go off onto the field, and then they'd drive out of the field and correct themselves. You could go along with a front loader, and you could physically pick up the cars that were driving around, and you could carry them off, and you could tip them somewhere. If you put them in a silage clamp, they would then reverse around, and they would eventually, they would find their way out. But if you did it just right, you could block them in, and you could capture them. And it was awesome, it was glorious, it was wonderful. And then in FS15, they changed it. And they said they had reasons for changing it, but nobody could ever quite fathom what these reasons were. Nothing was ever really explained, and we had no, and that was the end of it. And I definitely was not the only one that was disappointed that we could no longer harvest the AI drivers on the map. Like, you used to just be able to go around and gather them all up. And it was wonderful. If you got annoyed with them, you could gather them up. And what was even better was if you had a heavy vehicle like I've got there, you could just go for a drive. And if the AI got in the way, you'd push them out of the way. And it was wonderful. It was amazing. There was none of this massive, great big vehicles like this hitting the AI and the AI being completely unaffected and you stopping dead instantly. That didn't happen. That, you know, it was a cleaner time. It was a better time. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was amazing. It was absolutely wonderful and glorious, and I loved it and I miss it. I want to be able to harvest the AI again. I want that back. Right, I'm going to bring this one over here. Actually, you know what? We can just carry on and do the harvest now, rather than me waiting for anything else, because this is not going to take very long. So we go in and we go round this way round, because the left-hand side extends a lot further than the right-hand side, and I don't know why. I really don't, because I set those to be identical. They should be identical, so I don't know why it's done one side more than the other. But it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter in the slightest, because it's still doing exactly what I want it to do. And that is harvesting on an epically ridiculous scale. This is amazing. This is awesome. This is precisely what I want from this series. Any machine in a series, it needs to perform like this. That's amazing. We're done. Finished. Field done. So what we've actually done here is we have done a bit of sugar beet harvesting, and not only have we done a bit of sugar beet harvesting, so we've actually gone and done it, but we've completed it in a reasonable amount of time, and we're then able to move on with our next task, which is going and picking up that trailer down there. So we will fold up the header, just like that. And if I hit that one hard enough, we can go bouncing straight over. So we've got 290,000 litres of sugar beet in here. I want to tip some of this out into the protein feed. Is it protein feed? The mixer thing. Because we need whole sugar beet for that. And then what we've got in the other trailer could probably go into the sugar factory. Let's unhitch that onto there, like that. And then I can hitch the trailer on. Still hope I can. There we go. And we can go and take this back over to the farm. And then I got to do stuff with the combine. We'll get the lorry in a minute. We don't need to worry about that one. We've got other things that we need to do. We've got to get these sunflowers harvested, and then we've got to get the straw that's been left behind by all these things. We've got to get that picked up as well. Like, we have a long list of jobs that need to be done before the end of the day. Very important that we get all of it done. Right, let's go and deposit the trailer a minute. If I can keep this in a straight line. And yes, I do still need to build a shed. I haven't forgotten about the shed. I definitely need to still build a shed. It's on my to-do list. The grape and the olive harvester are just going to sit there as a constant reminder to me about my failure in getting them to do what I want. And when I look at it, I give you a very, very simple explanation, right? When you have a harvester, like a, well, anything, let me jump off of here. Okay, I'm stuck. When you have a harvester like this one, the basic thing that it works with is you have a point there, a point there, and a point at the back, and it forms a triangle. That triangle is the work area. And if you enlarge the triangle out each side, which is what I do, then you get a bigger work area. Now, you do have to be careful how you enlarge a triangle. I found with this one, like, if you get things the wrong way round, it can cause problems. And it takes a little bit of trial and error to get it exactly right. But the basics of it is that you've got this triangle on here, and that's the work area. And so if you want the work area to be bigger, you just make the triangle bigger. And you do the same with the AI as well. The AI has the same triangle, and you just make the AI one a bit bigger, but not quite as big as the work area, and then everything overlaps, and it picks up everything, and it's wonderful, and it's easy. With these harvesters over here, there is no work triangle, and this is the problem. What this one has, instead of there being because what I was expecting was a triangle that would go from there to there and to the back, right? That was what I was expecting with both of them. There is no such triangle. Instead, what it has is a ray cast harvest node. It is a single spot right in the middle, and because it's a single spot, I can't adjust it. I could move the raycast harvest node so it was out to the side. I haven't actually experimented with that yet, but in order for that to be able to work properly and to be able to harvest more than just one thing, more than one line, I need more than one raycast harvest node, and I don't know how to add more in, or I need a work area that will actually collect grapes, and I don't know how to add that in either. So I've got to figure out how to get those things to work. I've got to figure out, I've got to find some tutorials about how to add those bits on. If I can do it, I can add them in, and then everything will be tickety-boo and wonderful, and I can make all those necessary changes. But that's what I'm up against at the moment, is I've got to be able to add those bits in, and I don't know how to do it. So we've got 50,000 litres of sugar beet, and we've got 50,000 canola in here for our mineral feed. We also need the sunflowers we're about to go and harvest, and the soybeans, which are currently in storage. So I'm going to go and take this sugar beet here, and I'm not going to do anything with it at all. I'm going to park it up right here and leave it, because we have other things that we desperately need to go and do. One of those things is the other combine that we have got here is now surplus to requirement. I don't want this combine any longer. This one, the CLAAS 8900. It's a wonderful, wonderful combine, but I don't need the combine because we've got the little Vistula combine in the shed. That's the one that we'll be doing most of our harvesting with. But I also, so I definitely don't need the Draper header anymore, but the corn header that I've got on this combine is also no longer suited to purpose because ooh, I can't go out that way. There's a lorry in the way. It's no longer suited to purpose because it's too slow. It's much too slow. Like, this is not suitable for what we want in this series. We need it to go faster. We also need it to be bigger than it actually is, but that's not something I've done yet, so it's not something that we're going to be worrying about at the moment. It is something that is on my radar of things to do, but I haven't got to it yet. So I will do. I absolutely promise faithfully that I will get to it. And when I do, it's going to be awesome, and we will have additional things that we can go and do. But right now, this combine here is too slow. I can't make any changes to it, so I want to go and have something slightly different. I got another one lined up, but I haven't actually done any changes to it. It's just one that, in theory, already has a crazy version. Right, we'll bring these two in here like this. We will run around, and we want to sell all three of them. So first up, we want to sell that one, or when we sell the combine, we won't be able to do anything with this one. So let me just sell these. I got 599,000 at the moment. Now I have 1.079 millions. So let's go and have a look in here. Harvesters. Right. The same mod that I have for that I've got right here. So Lizard Colossus Harvesters Pack. I haven't changed these. I've made no change to the actual combine, which is something I need to do. So this one doesn't have the 250,000, but it does have a few other little bits. It's the cat pack that I want. The updated version is this one right here. So this is the newest one. This is one I'll get because any future changes that I make, I will make to this one. So right now we've got the engine set up there. I'm going to change that one all the way up to Maximus. We've got 1500 horsepower. Configuration is Colossus, Colossus Unrealistic. You got those two options right there. Colossus Large, Large Unrealistic. Okay, I didn't actually realize that it had these extras. We will definitely go with the large and unrealistic. So that's 153,000 litres, which is not very much by our standards. I will definitely increase that later on. So we've got EU on here. We can have TerraTrack, wide, and we can have wheels and doubles and triples and massive, great big wheels. I kind of like the TerraTrack, actually. I want a TerraTrack version this time. So, window tint. Now, I got blue on the other harvester. Let's go with... What shall we go with? Excellent. I now have the most physically jarring combine that I can create just by color alone. This is awesome. I'm going to buy that one just as it is. It's beautiful. It's absolutely a thing of beauty. I love it. Right, so we have that one right there, and it only does 47 kilometers. Oh, wait. Engine setup. Does 70k. Right, okay, so we've got 70k on there. Then we don't want a standard header anymore. We're not going to be doing any harvesting with that, but it does have that as an option here somewhere. I think it's after all the CLAAS stuff. There we go. Titan header Unreal does 70k. So we've got all of those things in there that we can go and use if we want to. But it's corn header. Now, one thing I was trying to do was find a corn header that does all crops. And that's not something I've been able to find. I was trying to also code it in myself, but it just stopped the thing from showing up in the game. Disappointed with that, because I haven't been able to find one that does harvest everything, and I would like it to be able to. It's the way I think the base game is coded, it just doesn't show up. You got sunflowers alone in there, but yeah, it's just not showing up anywhere. You got just the base sunflowers in there, and then you got these, but you don't have any headers, by the look of it, that also take corn and sunflowers, which is really disappointing. I was genuinely hoping that I could do that, but it really doesn't look like I can. So that other combine that we got, it does appear that we're not going to be able to do it. So we have got two options right here. We got a Titan corn header 9 meter. Okay, these are both the same, and they're both listed the same. I've got to make sure I get the right one. I'm continuing the theme of the visual assault by putting this color selection on this header. Now, I think we're also going to want a... Let me buy that one. I think we're also going to want a header trailer with it, but it doesn't look like we can get one. So we'll leave that for a minute. That is a glorious combination, that is. I don't know if we can fold it or not. Like, it's folded up there, but I don't know if we can get more folding going on with this. It's getting dark anyway. So, at the moment, it is going to just be the width of the header right here, which is a little bit disappointing. I haven't made any other changes to this one. I wasn't able to get to it yet. It's on my to-do list. But we can start unfolding that one. We can start unfolding that one. There is no way that this header actually folds up a bit smaller, which is a bit of a shame, but it's small enough that we can fit in here, and we do at least have a good ground speed on it. So although it doesn't do exactly what I would like it to do, is the straw chopper on this one? Straw chopper was on, it's not anymore, so we can do that, and then I can start up. The sound is a little bit disappointing on this one. Like, some of them, they properly fire up with a roar as you get going, and it actually sounds really cool. So, yeah, you sort of feel like you're doing something, but this one doesn't. Now, whilst it doesn't have any wider cut on it than just the standard width of this little header, we are at least able to go a bit faster than we could previously. So this is a win, I feel. This is at least good enough for now. I want to get around the field like a couple of times so that I've got a bit of space here, and then the next thing will be just kind of leave the hired help going, and we can finish that up. So while the hired help is doing that, we will then want to go and get our forage wagon and start picking up some of the straw, because we've got straw everywhere here. There's the straw from the corn, and then we've also got all the straw from this as well. If I can make this header a whole lot wider than it is right now, it's going to be an awful lot better. I've got some major plans for the header on this one. And yes, it would be nice to have a small combine as well. And one thing that I was wondering about was seeing if I could try and find one of the old combine, the tractor-drawn combines, because there was actually a tractor-drawn harvester in one of the other versions of the game. I can't remember. I do remember seeing it. I remember thinking that was absolutely awesome, because I seen my uncle had one of those when I was a very young lad. So many years ago now. But he did actually have a tractor-drawn combine, and I always used to think that that thing was very cool. But apparently it was a horrible thing to operate, because you can't see the header very well from inside the tractor cab, and you can only have a small-ish tractor driving it anyway, because a bigger tractor won't fit, so they had to have a smaller, older tractor, and it was really uncomfortable and hot, and it was unpleasant all round to drive and operate the thing, but it still did the job. It still did the job. My dad was quite progressive when he was doing his farming, and he actually had a self-propelled combine instead of one that was pulled by a tractor. He had one that looked not that dissimilar from the, well, I was going to say the Vistula, but actually it was a bit newer than that. It was an old Massey Ferguson thing. No cab on it. We have actually got combines like that in here. Let's have a look. I just want to very quickly show you. It wasn't that dissimilar to this thing, but it was a Massey Ferguson one. So it was an old one like that, but it was a self-propelled combine, not a tractor-driven one. Right. I'm going to finish this up. This is going to take longer than I was thinking, and I don't like that everything is really dull and dingy at the moment, but we've got to finish this today. You know, we could have some lights on here, couldn't we? That would help. But we need to finish this harvest today because we've got... it's winter tomorrow, it's December, and we're going to have a whole load of other things that we're going to want to do. Alright, I'm going to set the hired help going. They've turned the lights off. That wasn't part of the master plan. But we've got the hired help going at the moment. I will see how they cope with turning round at the end of the row. He braked beautifully. He did a wonderful job just there. The combine definitely needs some adjustments with the reversing speed and so on. I love the colour. I really do. I absolutely love the colours that we've got on this combine. I mean, who is going to steal this combine? No one is ever going to steal this combine. They'd never be able to sell it. No one would buy it. Be like, yeah, no. If you have something that is very, very recognisable from everywhere, people tend to leave it alone. If you got something that's generic and looks like everything else, it's more likely to get stolen because it can be easily shifted. You need to think outside the box when protecting your machinery. It's the only way to go. Right, he is all the way down there like that with a whoosh. He's actually doing a really good job here with the whole turning round and picking up and everything. So I'm just gonna... We'll see that he does get round his corner here. He should do. Seems like he's going to do it. Let's come on up here, and he's turning around to go into there. His combine is glorious. Look at it. I regret nothing. I absolutely regret nothing. This is definitely a good decision that I have made to try to build the single most visually offensive machine that has ever been constructed. And it's come out beautifully, far better than I ever could have hoped. So that one is racing across the field right there, and as soon as he gets to the other end, 70k, it's brilliant. Okay, that one can carry on and do that. We do need to go and get the straw. We've got straw left on the ground from previously. Let me just double check the cows in here. They've got 190,000 in there, and he's got 1.4 million in there. So the cows are fine at the moment. I will... Have I got food in here? I don't think I've actually got food in here. Pressing R. Nothing coming out. Have I already emptied it out? Total mixed ration. Oh, it's because we don't have the... We need the mineral feed. Right. Let's go and get the... We will do the straw first. We'll get the straw, but I do need to get the soybeans and the... Actually, you know, it would probably be better if we were to go and do this the other way around. We'll leave the straw, because we've got loads of straw. That's something we've got plenty of. We'll bring this back up, and I'll tip some of this into the sugar beet factory, and then the rest can be tipped into... Can you get across there? Yes, you can. Yeah, we'll tip whatever can tip into the sugar beet factory, and then the rest will just go into storage for now. And then we will move the beans out of storage and we'll put them over, and then I'll go over to the combine, unload sunflowers and get that, so we can start making a mineral feed. We do actually need that. That's one of those things that's now becoming critical, because otherwise the cow's going to run out of food. They've only got 190,000 litres left, which is not a huge amount, not really, in the grand scheme of things. So we will tip what we can in here. Quite a lot, actually. Alright, it's more than I was expecting. I know that we've upgraded the sugar factory a couple times. How much have we upgraded it? Oh, it's only twice. There's 720,000 of sugar beet. Oh. Oops. I can't take that back out now. We need to cut the sugar beet. to put it in here because you get a better rate. You get a better conversion rate. Right, let's activate that. That was my bad. That was a silly mistake. But I've still got 900,000 litres in here, so I'm going to dump that into storage, and we will end up putting it into our bin over there later on. That's something that we will do, just not what we're going to do yet. So I want to bring you over this way. Tip you in here. And as soon as I've done that, I will take out the soybeans from here, because I do want to use those in this stuff that we're making. Drop you down. I'm getting very impatient. I'm getting used to some of these things going an awful lot faster than you would otherwise expect. Like this. See, we can now unload things out of this one a lot better than we used to be able to. I'm going to need to build up a collection of my own mods that I've labeled as cats, and basically just have a whole cat collection. Because at the moment I don't. I've just got them all separate, but I need to kind of like copy them all into a folder and have my cat collection. Unfortunately, I know that some of you are going to ask if you can have copies of these mods. These mods are all ones that other people have published and listed, and all I'm doing is making minor alterations to them. And because I've done these alterations without asking permission of the person that creates the mod in the first place, I do not have the right to go and actually publish these for anyone else's use anywhere online. So unfortunately, I cannot do that. Absolutely will not. There is a code of conduct among people that create mods, and I am not going to be someone that steps in and damages that code of conduct. I do not feel that that is right in any way, and I will not be part of that kind of activity. So the mods that other people have created that I have gone and then altered, I'm not going to re-upload them without the permission of them, and it's going to take an awful lot to go around and find all these people and get permissions from them and stuff like that. So basically, I'm just not going to do it. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.